Hello guys, welcome back to SSA Athletics. So, you've chosen to join an athletics club, but where do I start? And what do I look for? Well, you come to the right video. In this video, we're literally going to tell you what is the best athletic club for you in roughly your area and what things you've got to look for as a prospective parent or maybe a child who just loves athletics. Now this video is meant to be for people with inside the UK, but you can take some of these with you and maybe help you with whatever country you're watching from. So if you're not from the UK, hang in there. This may still help. So most people, when they try athletics, it's usually when they're at school. And that's when they first discover athletics. Maybe they're good at one event specifically. So they decide to go down to a club. But where do I go to? Which club do I go to? Some areas generally have lots of clubs, and some have often very few. For instance, if you're living in certain places, Australia, your next nearest club might be 200 miles away from you. Luckily here in Great Britain, we don't need to take a 1-hour flight to the athletics track. Certain things you need to look at when joining an athletics club. Firstly, how committed is the actual child to becoming an athlete? And what part about athletics do they really like? Are they likely to maybe push it on, maybe not? If they're there just to make friends and to improve their ability for other sports, then just having fun and that kind of thing might be what you're looking for. The type of coaching might be aimed towards in creating communication between them and their fellow athletes. On the other hand, if they're looking to improve themselves performance-wise, you need to look at what type of coaching is that there. Is the coaching any good? And that might be a bit hard to discover, first of all, especially when you're new to the area. And generally when you see people looking to improve their child's athletics, they often go for the coach who just absolutely smashes them every time. And that's not good. You need to try and gauge what the coach's level of intellect regarding athletics is. Ask them questions. See what answers they bring, and then try and cross-reference those answers with maybe other coaches if you have an availability to meet them. Try and get some tasters done. Try and go down and go to the athletics club and see which is best for them. Sometimes the local club or the nearest club to you might not necessarily be the best for the athlete. Then you need to see if that or the events you are likely or looking to do is actually covered at that athletics club. If it's not, then there's no point going to it. Generally, you get that one coach who coaches all the younger kids and teaches them events, basically, different types of events. And then he or she may push them on to maybe another coach. Or maybe you're a little bit more advanced, in which case you want to go to the sprints coach or the shot put coach, you go to the shot put coach or the sprints coach. So if they don't have a shot put coach or a sprints coach, then there's no point in you being at that club. But even if you are going to look for a specific event or specific events, like you just want to do throwing, get used to doing all the sports, because unless you trial all the sports and trial all the events, then you might never know what is your actual true best event. Take on Bosworth, for instance. He started off as quite a mediocre park runner and then became one of the world's best race walkers because he trialled it. Of course, this might mean you might have to change coaches throughout the course of your athletics career. And it's rarely you see an athlete who stays with one coach throughout their entire track and field career. In fact, it's exceedingly rare. Coaches can move around, and you've got to remember, guys, sometimes that one coach might not be the best fit for you, both from a social point of view or just from what their training doesn't fit your style or what you need as an athlete. It might be helpful to look and see if there's multiple coaches. Generally in the bigger athletics clubs, they will have more than one athletics coach at that event. For instance, I changed my events throughout my teenage years, which are generally some of the most important years for athletics, because that's when you develop and find out what events you are good at. So for instance, I went in and started athletics at the age of 8, and I went in as a sprinter and had quite a flair for the long jump. And then I moved into multi-events and gradually worked up to an octathlon, decathlon. And then one day my coach came over to me and went, "You know what you do the decathlon, Adam McCarthy?" He's Irish, by the way. "Yeah. Where are you going with this?" "You know you had to do hurdles in the decathlon?" "Yeah." "You know you did a 400 meters? "Yeah, okay. I kind of see where this is going. You fancy doing 400 meter hurdles?" And ladies and gentlemen, that's how I discovered the 400 meter hurdles. I was the only nutter willing to do it. Another thing to look at is the skill of the coach. No two coaches are the same. And finally, the leagues they partake in. And there's hundreds of athletics leagues. which clubs generally partake in. But they'll mainly partake within 2 leagues for those age groups. So one league that is not so well competitive, and another league that is pretty much more competitive. I'm Adam McCarthy. I hope you enjoyed this video from SSA Athletics. Check out our Facebook pages, and if you're in the Southend area and really fancy joining an athletics club that's under the age of 11s, then maybe we're the club for you. So check out the website for that. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, and have a good day.